I'm a little bit more sympathetic to this notion than you might be guessing. Why? Because for some people who lose a pet, that is a devastating event. And to offer something to them that helps them cope through the grieving process, I wouldn't look at it and go, well, that's just stupid. Hold on. There are some people who are genuinely hurting. And if it is biblical to help them through that grieving process, which a funeral does, I can at least be sympathetic. I don't think that I would engage the pastor in it, but I think that we should at least be mindful. There are some people who are really devastated when they lose a pet. Second reason I'm not being cold about this request and saying, absolutely not, that's just dopey, is because a funeral, rightly done, is not focusing on the person. It focuses on God. When we gather together at the death of a loved one, my opinion, people should leave the service saying, wow, what a great God, not wow, what a great guy or gal. Even a funeral service should be a worship service to God and not a celebration of the person's life for the sake of focusing on them. That doesn't mean we can't eulogize the person, but it does need to be done in the context. Look at what God has done for His glory and our good by providing this person. We sing the accolades of God, not a human being. If, and I'm right about the focus of a funeral, could that be accomplished if it happens to be a pooch in a casket? Yeah, because we can thank God for the blessings of animals, and they are a blessing to so many people. And so if that's the case, if those 2 points are valid, should we be asking our pastor to do a pet funeral? The answer to that question is I don't think so. I don't think so. First of all, we don't see a pattern in the Bible of doing funerals for pets. We see funerals for people because people are more important. We're made in the image of God, and so those assemblings are done for a special class of live things, human beings, not pets. We don't see a pet funeral in the Bible, but we do see human funerals because, well, we're better than animals. Sorry, pets, if you're listening, we're better than you, and that's the pattern. Furthermore, while funerals can indeed be a mechanism to help somebody grieve through a grieving process, I think that there are other things that the pastor should be focusing on even more, like the preparation of the Sunday sermon, being with that person to comfort that person, but to ask them to prepare a funeral service for a pooch. What text would they use? Wait, I think I've got it. We shouldn't throw pearls before swine or give unholy things to dogs. Well, our dog here today, you see, they wouldn't be able to exegete a text, some sort of text to talk about Fido, but they can do it for a person, and that's where I think it should be left. And not mocked, not callously, not coldly as if your pet meant nothing to anybody, because they do. And I think we could be actually just sensitive about this while stating probably a better use of a pastor's time to do something else. Thank you very much for watching Something Wretched. If you would like to continue watching Wretched videos, would you be kind enough to become a Wretched Club member? Your monthly support keeps us on the air, and you get lots of tchotchkes and benefits. Learn more at wretched.tv/club.